can take it to the front if you want. Go to the front. Take it back. Yeah, get him some big crowds.
I'm making an announcement.
Okay. It's only 4 minutes till time.
I'm just going to do it from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Everyone smile, wave, cheese.
Attention Portman customers, anyone waiting on the Takamine guitar workshop are seated down the hallway. All people for the Takamine guitar workshop are now.
Bill.
This is a deck back.
We welcome you here. We hope you come back. This particular special, this is an offer for tonight only. Keep your stub for the guitar drawing. It will be in a little while, but the stub you have is a number on the back. We have the matching numbers in the bowl, and it will be drawn after a little while, and we want somebody here to win. So we hope you have a great time, and we look forward to seeing you all in the near future. Thanks for coming. I'm going to introduce the guys from Takamine, and this gentleman, Mike, is going to take it over. Thank you, Jerry.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Michael Mark, your product manager for Takamine Guitars, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight. Portman Music has invited us to come share an evening with you and be part of their 75th anniversary celebration and event. Tonight's all about the music. We're going to do a little celebration of guitar playing and show you a little bit about who we are as a company and why we say that Takamine guitars are the hardest working guitars in show business. Fantastic program tonight. 2 incredible guitar players who have been with us for a long time. Good friends of mine. Brad Davis is a flat picking monster. He spent a lot of his career playing lead guitar for many groups. He was with Marty Stewart for 11 years, the Forrester Sisters. When Earl Scruggs goes out on the road, he takes Brad with him to play his guitar duties. Right now he's working on film scores with Billy Bob Thornton out in Hollywood. He's doing a lot of work. He's a Grammy-winning artist. He had a Grammy for Warren Zevon's final album. And then there's John Jorgenson, who's an amazing artist in himself. Illustrious career from the Desert Rose Band, Helicasters, a stint on the road with Elton John's band. He's one of the proponents and people that's really keeping alive the Django Reinhardt gypsy jazz guitar in the United States and in the world, trying to keep the fire into that music and keep it in front of the people. He's one of the great artists in that genre. And he's here tonight at Portman's Music. Again, there is some merchandise that is outside the recordings and DVDs of these gentlemen who are for sale tonight. I'm going to pick them up. They're $20 each. They'll sign them for you after the show. This is not just going to be like a concert for you. We want you to ask questions. These guys are here for you.
Thanks so much, everybody. I'm John Jorgenson.
I'm Brad Davis.
We're happy to be here playing for you. That was a fiddle tune, actually written by Kenny Baker, called the Jerusalem Ridge. And I don't know if he used all the same notes that we did, but we might have added a couple. But anyway, we're here to play some Takamine guitars for you. You all had brochures probably on your chairs. So we'll tell you a little bit about them as we go along, but maybe we'll just play a little bit more first. What do you think? Yeah. What would you like to play? Something with a cable. Is it you? Oh, this is nice. Brad will probably tell you about this technique a little bit after we play it, but just notice his right hand on this song. This is called Snowflake.
It's a technique called double down up, so it's 2 downs and 1 up. And it's when I was a kid, I really liked Van Halen, and I'd never seen the group, but they tapped or toned. He tapped kind of like this. I like that rhythm, ba da da ba da da ba da da. I really like the way that sounded, and I think that's a paradiddle basically for a drummer, ba da da ba da da ba da da ba da da. And I thought he did it with a pick. You know, I'm pretty remote in Texas. We actually didn't get out much, so I thought he was doing it with a flat pick. So it's a down on the 6th string, and you rest on the 5th. You got to follow through. You can't just do it and float. You got to follow through and do a rest stroke, and then do a rest stroke on the 5th string, a rest on the 4th, and then do an up on the 5th. So it's 6-5-5, 6-5-5. And what it does is it throws you up the neck in a way that you would never do before. So I'm rotating that over and over again. And that's the double down up technique, and that's the way that last song was written. It's not for everybody, because a lot of people go, you know, I just want to go down, up, down, up, down, up, and that's very important, I'll tell you. But it's nice to add a little Spanish with your English, you know, it's kind of nice. And John does a lot of techniques like that, where he's playing two downs when he does the Django style, because every time Django would change a string, a lot of times he would do a downstroke to get to the next string.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, there's various licks where you can do that just on two strings if you want. Or you do it on three strings. And that's where you do up and then three downs in a row. So up, down, 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 up, down.
It's not really a break because you're keeping it in time.
Yeah, that's the tempo.
Yeah.
And you can do wider arpeggios too, like.
Ball downs, yeah.
Yeah, so you basically this technique is when you're going to a new string, you hit a downstroke. So it's like down, up, down, 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 up. But anyway,
It's a cool sound. Just something new
yeah.
to add to what you're doing.
There's a little. We'll do a song with a little bit of that in it, not a lot of it, but this is also called Snowflake Waltz. And it's a musette style, which is a waltz style that was popular dance music in Paris in the 1920s. And but it's kind of fast waltz. So here we go. You know what all right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
John could probably use another shot of cappuccino after that one. Why don't you tell them about your model,
Oh, okay.
the JJ model?
Yeah, this is a John Jorgenson model, Takamine, and it's maybe about 12 years old by now. And it was patterned after a guitar that I started playing in the 90s when I was touring with Elton John. very similar to this, cutaway dreadnought size guitar. And I just asked the company to make the braces a little bit smaller so that acoustically it would resonate more, and also put a little bit less finish on it, again, to make it resonate a little bit more. It's a spruce top, Babingo back and sides, which is just basically a type of mahogany, and rosewood fingerboard, and
Initials in the front?
yes, mine, yeah. That's so if somebody takes it, I can say, hey. And one cool thing about Takamine's is that the preamps are modular. Basically, you can put pretty much any preamp in any of the guitars. So the mounting's the same. This particular preamp is called a DSP, and that stands for Digital Signal Processing. There'll be a test afterwards. And I like it a lot. It has built-in reverb, which is a nice thing. If you're plugging in and playing somewhere, usually you can't ask the guy, could you put some reverb on my guitar, whatever. You just got it built in, yeah, which is nice. So,
Awesome.
yeah, nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
A little fairy dust on top of that.
Yes.
It's awesome.
You put that, you can play that. Anyway, so that's my model, and there's also a matching 12-string guitar with it, which is also, twice as good. 12 strings, but anyway, so that's my model. And
Yeah, this model over here is patterned after like a 37 old vintage dreadnought, and had a guitar that was one of my favorite guitars and played on this Steven Seagal soundtrack. It was a Merrill, about a $7,000 Merrill 37 copy. And I always hated Takamine. Matter of fact, would never look at a Takamine. He grew up with Martins and Collins and Santa Cruz and great guitars like that. But the head of product and development had heard the movie soundtrack and basically said, I want to tune our guitars after that guitar. And they took the guitar and they tuned all the tops to the Pro Series to that guitar. And I was doing a clinic in Texas, and my Merrill, my bags went out on my Merrill, and so we had a lot of room about the size. And the owner said, here, take this Takamine and finish the clinic. And I said, oh, I can't. It's going to ruin my reputation. And I said, no, really, we got a lot of people here tonight. Just finish the clinic with this. And I go, God, everybody's going to take a picture. My whole career's over. So I muted the guitar because I knew the pickup would sound great, and I put my ear up to it, and it sounded exactly like my $7,000 Merrill. It just really made me angry, and I didn't want to let the guy know. But I kept thinking, how? The whole time I'm playing, how? I kept asking that question. But after that, next week later, the guy that had the store said, hey, we've got a clinic open in Houston. We'd love to have you there. I said, oh, I see where this is going. Well, I needed the money. I had my trio out with me, and I had to buy hotel rooms. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So the head of product and development flew to Houston, and I asked him, actually Mike's the guy who introduced us, Mike Markier, and I said, why do these sound so good? He said, well, I was watching this movie by Steven Seagal, and this guitar was on there, and we thought, wow, that's an amazing guitar. We need to copy the sound of that guitar. Our guitars need to sound like that one. And I said, wow, I'm thinking, well, I did a soundtrack for Steven Seagal, could be the same one. And I said, what was it? He said, Fire Down Below. And I said, you copied my favorite guitar that I had of all my guitars. And I said, I want to be part of the team. If you're going to go that far for tone, I want to be on the team. So that's why I got involved with this guitar here. And this is I call it the Mighty T, but it's a 360 East Indian rosewood back and sides. And you can see it's pretty straight, hardcore, traditional, and butterbean tuners. And it's got a cool tube on it, and the cool tube means that it's cool to the touch. And it's cool having it anyway. It's cool. Yeah. You got a tube. It's old technology with new technology, so it's solid state with a cool tube involved, and they put 3 volts through it, and it gives it a nice sound. And I'll quickly just play what it sounds like with the cool tube out.
so just to clarify, there's actually a tube, a vacuum tube like you see in old Fender amps and Marshalls and things like that, inside the preamp, which is very unusual. And one of the reasons they call it cool is because normally a tube has got to have a fair amount of voltage going to it to work. And that would drain batteries really quickly, and it would also get hot, So they created a technology where the tube could run on a lower voltage and run on batteries and not get hot. So that's why.
Yeah, and John and I have the same bridge pickup, but this is a, the tube pre, and it's, so if I just roll it in, it's out right now. It's a nice little sound, nice sound. I'll roll the tube in. Sounds like Godzilla. I mean, it just sounds huge, and it's nice having the tube, and it gives you a little bit of compression. 3-band EQ, equalizer here with a mid sweep and an auxiliary. A lot of people are going to ask me about this. This is a triax, and they have it here at the store. It's just a kind of an outboard pickup. It's 2 humbuckers, and Bags and Takamine came together, had coffee one day, and slipped over this idea. It's got a volume control, but it gives you the top sound that you get right there. That's what that one does, and it makes the guitar a little heavier, but as professionals, we got to have the guitar sound as good as we can sound, and it's a great pickup. It's called the Triax.
Plus, you can use it to work out, lifting.
Absolutely. 1, 2. I'd rather do that with coffee.
All right, so we've been talking all about pickups and electronics, but let's play something just on the microphone.
Yeah.
And we'll show you how nice the guitar sounds without any amps, just played on the mics themselves. And we'll do a song written by Rodney Crowell.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very, very great songwriter, a good friend of ours, and it's called, what is this song called? Till I Gain Control Again.
Gain Control Again, yeah.
You have to have control in the first place, right? So you gain it, anyway.
Just like the moon coming over the mountainside, you know I'll always come again. You know I like to spend my morning time like sunlight dancing on your skin. Never gone so wrong as to telling lies to you. What you see is what I am. There is nothing I can hide from you. lighthouse, you must stand alone. Landmark sailors' journeys end. No matter what sea I am sailing on, I'll always roll this way again. Out on the road that lies before me now, there are some turns where I will spin. I only hope that you can hold me down, till I can gain control again. I only hope that you can hold me now, till I can gain control again. Till I can gain control again.
Does anybody have any questions for us about guitars or playing or the music business or gardening?
Is that like a sad finish on that?
No, it's just been beat up. Yeah, it's the one I take on the road, and I use this one in the studio probably all the time. It's the main one I use.
And you don't like clean it very often, right?
What's that? I don't clean it.
Yeah.
Greg, during that song, you were kind of like bending the neck. What was that thing?
Well, I was just doing like a,
Oh,
just
okay.
doing some stuff to try to. I want to make him sound. He's the lead guy on that song, so I want to make him sound as good as I can. That's the job.
Yeah.
That cool too, is it pretty durable?
Yeah.
You know, on stage. you
Okay,
knock
I'll
it
tell
down.
you how durable it is. I get on the plane in Dallas, it's an Eagle. Okay, it's not a jet. It was a jet, but it's an Eagle.
Yeah.
And I go, I got my guitar. I go, well, there's not enough room, Mr. Davis. We're going to have to set it underneath. In a soft bag.
Hook
I
it to the
get-
landing gear, right?
Yeah, they hooked it to the landing gear. It was great. I got the guitar, and it was in tune. And I mean, I've never had the tube fall out. It's so tight in the socket. You know, when they made it, it's great. It never comes out. So I put it through its paces. Believe me, I really have. Yeah.
Thank you. Have either of you ever worked with a B-bender contraption in an acoustic guitar? Because I believe that such a thing exists.
I patented one several years ago called the Brad Bender. And when I first got with Takamine, I had it on a Nashville series, and the part that pulls back to bend the string up here at the peg head came off. And it almost hit a lady in the face. And it went zing to the audience. And so I covered that up, and all the Takamine, you know, Mike knew me pretty well, Mike Marcure, but some of the Takamine upper echelon of the company thought I was trying to cover the name up. But I was just trying to eliminate a lawsuit.
But I did notice that yours only has a T. Mine is like the whole.
Well, this is custom.
I see. Okay.
Yours is custom. Fight, yeah, question.
That was a Crystal Gayle song also. She did that.
And that helped make some nice money for Roddy Crowell, which is yeah, very good. She has good taste in songs too, doesn't she?
Another thing about the cool tube, if you've got a G series or a Takamine that's an older Takamine, depending on the year, that has got the same chassis here, you can take the cool tube and buy the cool tube here, and you can hot ride your Takamine and turn it into Godzilla.
Yeah, yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah. They retrofit.
I like the sound of John's. That guitar has a great sound with that one in it, and I'm really partial to Cool Tube, but that guitar sounds great with a solid state. So, mine doesn't
Each
need batteries.
guitar, I think, in each playing style is going to lend itself to different preamps, and or you can have two.
One with the digital pre, one with the,
Yeah. It's always good to have more guitars, right? Well, let's play another song. I just sang one. Why don't you sing one?
All right.
Yeah. We both had the very fantastic opportunity to play with the legendary Earl Scruggs, who's just, of course, a fantastic banjo player, and bluegrass music as we know it now would not sound the same without him. And also his son Gary is a great bass player and singer with Earl, and also a great songwriter. And this is a song that Brad wrote along with Gary, and it's called Where You Belong.
Gotcha. 2, 3. Staring at the telephone, open eye will hear your ring. I want to spend another night alone with all the darkness this brings. Been there, done that for too long now. So much I want to talk about. Talk about blues, baby, you know I've got 'em. Talk about down, baby, I've hit rock bottom. Talk about dreams, baby, I'm still hoping you come back where you belong. I've been going up the rubber's hill, listening to a lonesome wind. Tells me there's a chance you love me still. When will I see you again? Make it sooner than later, please, babe. I can't hold out another day. Talk about blues, baby, you know I've got 'em. Talk about down, baby, I've hit rock bottom. Talk about dreams, baby, I'm still hoping you come back where you belong. You belong to my heart. You feel so wrong, feel so far. Talk about blues, baby, you know I've got 'em. Talk about down, baby, I've hit rock bottom. Talk about dreams, baby, I'm still hoping you come back where you belong. Where you belong. All right, Dan. Reckon what you got in there good to eat?
We're going to do a Merle Travis song now for you. But we don't Travis pick.
Only when called to do so.
It's also kind of a bluegrass standard, classic. How many guitar players are here today? Everybody. Fantastic.
How many wives were drugged to this event tonight?
But it was worth it.
Was it okay? Okay, good. We'll try to keep it good.
Keep it short, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
What time does the mall close? We'll get that.
It's called the 9-Pound Hammer.
Don't you roll so slow. How can I
capos on the floor is not really an indication of how we feel about capos in general. When we fling them off, they just land. Any other questions, or yeah?
Earl Travis and Ike Everly and Chet Atkins all had that. Was it finger flat picking?
Well, they used the thumb pick.
Thumb pick.
Yeah, thumb, that attaches to your thumb, and they would do this, alternating bass kind of with the thumb. And then they put their other fingers in there to do those other bits. But we can't do that.
No, we can stab at it, but it's not our thing.
We used to go to Muhlenberg County, where the Everly Brothers were from. They would have their yearly concert. And they would always, along with their concert and several of the groups they would bring in, they would always have a thumb picking contest. And among other greats, of course, Ike Everly and Earl Travis were there.
Sure.
But they would bring in all these other young guys that would do the thumb picking too, It's
Yeah.
always fun to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
But I really wasn't sure exactly how it differentiated between that and the regular.
Yeah, well, that's finger style. Like I say, that's thumb pick there, and usually it's the thumb and these. I think Earl Travis just used thumb and one finger. Chet used more. I'm not sure how many Ike used, but so all those things. We do flat picking most of the time, and sometimes we'll put those fingers in there, but.
The hybrid Telecaster.
Yeah, the flat picking style is usually a little bit harder. You hit the guitar harder than the thumb pick. You can't hit the guitar as hard with the thumb pick because it'll bend off,
Yeah.
So it's a little more, I don't want to say delicate, but it's a little more intricate. And plus, you can't strum the same way. So it's just two, it's different techniques. And usually people will do one or the other. I don't know that many people that can do really good thumb picking and really good, because they're just, it takes too much time to learn one or the other, right? If you have a couple of lifetimes, you could,
When Earl Scruggs and his partner would come on like Grammy and things like that, when I saw them, they were so good, and it was seemed like the best at what they did.
Yeah.
Did they ever win any awards or Grammys or anything?
Oh, they won a lot of awards. Yeah, the Flat and Scruggs.
Yeah.
You mean? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lots.
And I know Earl won awards on his own too.
Yeah.
And of course, they were on the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
Which made Bill Monroe really mad.
Yeah.
He didn't want another bluegrass band on the Grand Ole Opry.
No sir, I can't have them on.
Yeah, and of course they sang, played the theme song of the Beverly Hillbillies, and also Bonnie and Clyde, which is the Foggy Mountain Breakdown, which will lead us into the next song.
Oh yeah, you got a question.
Oh,
So how old were you guys when y'all first started playing?
I started playing the piano when I was 5, and the clarinet when I was 8, and then I started messing around with the ukulele when I was about 10. I wanted a guitar, but my parents didn't want me to play guitar. So, because they figured, he's already practicing 2 instruments. Kids can't just practice music all the time. They have to play and do other stuff. But and they also didn't think the guitar was a serious instrument. They were classical musicians. But I started borrowing once from my friends and stuff like that. And so after about 2 years of that, then they got me my first guitar, an electric guitar, which cost $27.50.
I was 5.
Oh, it was good.
I started at the age of 5 and playing guitar.
So for benefit of my daughter, say that thing about practicing all the time.
Well, it's like anything. If you want to get good at it, you have to do it consistently. If you don't want to get good, it's okay to just do it every now and then, and then you might get okay after a number of years. But it's like exercising, or doing sports, or anything you want to get really good at. It's way better to do it even a little bit every day than say practice an hour a week, one chunk. If you do it 10 or 15 minutes every day, you're going to get better a lot quicker.
That's all you need.
It's just like working out. It's muscle memory, and it's teaching your brain. And but you have to kind of like it. You have to like practicing. People ask me kind of about the whole business, like, and I used to have this mindset of like, if I ever got in a good band, then I'd be happy. Or if we get a record deal, I'll be happy. And then if a record actually comes out, I'll be happy.
If you got a
and then if it gets number 1, I'll be happy. Yeah, then if you get to ride on a tour bus, I'll be happy. And I realized you can't do that because then you're always waiting to be happy.
Right.
You got to just enjoy every part of it. And I do. I enjoy sound checking. I enjoy messing around with the guitars. I like rehearsing. I like practicing. You know,
Probably early on, when John and I were young, we would play a lot. I mean, I played a lot in the summers every day when school was out. And now we don't get a chance to practice like we'd like to because we're always working. We play maybe 10 times a year, maybe, and we just try to remember the songs that we think we know together, and then we do them for you guys.
Yeah.
But,
Well, so much of our day is spent traveling, you know, at this point. But, you know, in the best of worlds, I would practice a couple hours every day because I like it. And it gets me some new things to play, new ideas, and it'll get me, you know, better on the licks that I already know. But, yeah, I mean, you have to really enjoy all aspects of it, or else there's going to be many hours of the day that you don't like it, you know.
questions, yeah? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Any more chance I read on Chris Holman's website, you did Desert Rose back together, you've done it last couple of years, I think 08 and 10.
Yeah.
You guys, is there more plans to do that again?
You know, the last show that we did, which was in Colorado about a month ago, J.D. Manus, who was our pedal steel player, he couldn't make the show. He had to have an emergency surgery right before the gig, so we decided we couldn't let that be our last gig because it wasn't everybody. So we don't have anything planned particularly, but we do intend to do some more shows together as the Desert Rose Band with all the original members.
What's the Hellcat?
How do I put this? Two of the three of us would like to do it. And we've never all three wanted to do it again at the same time. I wasn't that crazy about it for a while, and then I kind of came around, yeah, it'll be fun, but by that time one of the others had decided, no, I don't. But, you know, I never thought that the Desert Rose Band would get back together and play again, so maybe, you know, I'm in favor of doing something. You have a question there.
How do you go about learning a new song?
Well, if it's a song with the lyrics, you know, then I'll just study the lyrics for a while and try to get those in my brain and try to I'll try to figure out what the songwriter is saying and what the story is. If brain has something more than just a bunch of words, and if it's a melody or chords, then just listen to it and try to play. You know, like don't listen. If it's an easy song, you can listen to the whole thing and then play it. But if it's difficult, then I'll just take a little bit. You know, like the first phrase and try to learn that phrase. You know, and
or maybe the verse. Just get the verse down.
Yeah, just take it in little chunks, and I'll usually do it by ear. Unless I don't have a recording of it, and then if it's tablature, then it takes me a long time. I can read music easier than tablature, but that's because I grew up playing the piano.
No, it's a vocal tune. You try to memorize the melody and play the chords and hum it, so you can map out the left hand. Because a lot of your licks are going to come off the G position and the C position. All your positions will be, you know, probably where you'll play your licks or your first beginning licks of the song. You know, but melody's king.
Yeah, learn the melody. Yeah, learn to sing the melody, or play the melody, or both. Better yet, both.
Yeah.
Most people, a lot of people can sing a melody, but hardly nobody ever plays the melody. You know, when it's time for a solo, they just start jamming away, you know, licks that maybe don't have anything to do with the song or the melody.
Yeah, it's just licks.
So if you start with a melody, it might sound simple, but then you can embellish it. You know, you can play a little bit more with it as you go. How about that? You might recognize this song. Speaking of Earl Scruggs.
They'll write off and on with Gary Scruggs. He's a great writer, and so I've often wanted to put words to Foggy Mountain Bright down, as probably many people have wanted to do. So I'm putting a disclaimer on this, Gary. Don't sue me. Don't get mad. snow on the ground. Times like these, there's no safe way down. With fever running high, baby Jane is bound to die. You can't go down on foggy and adrift. Where to go when the snow has started to shift? To even try would be too great a risk. Precious baby girl away. My wife had no more strength to stay. This fool's still on this mountain today. Earl Scruggs tells it best, and it's as good as it can get.